Rick Harsch, and this is my master's class in fiction. You can skip this ad in 3 days. Today's class is called Give Your Dog a Bone. And I'll tell you what it's based on. When I was at the writer's workshop, early on I met this Indian feller named Iqbal Pittalwala. Wala is like worker, so I can't remember what Pittal was, but the name is based on the kind of work that was traditionally done in his family. And I met him, and I liked him a lot. And we were in the same class the first semester, and I thought his writing was terrific. And I remember, somehow this person came up, and a friend of mine who's a great musician named Adam Snyder, when I mentioned the name, Adam was in my kitchen, and I said, yeah, Iqbal Pittalwala. And Adam just right away said, give your dog a bone. So, Iqbal Pittalwala, give your dog a bone. That's been going through my head for 20-some years now. But in the course of my 2 years at the workshop, I became less and less friends with Iqbal. We just had different crowds. There was never anything between us in terms of bad feelings or anything like that. Occasionally I've thought of him. I just found out he had a book of short stories published in 2002. Can't remember the title, but look up Iqbal Pittalwala, Give Your Dog a Bone. And but the funny thing is, I've been writing and I've been publishing and this and that, and lately I've started this press called Corona Samizdat, and it's a press that's based on cooperation and a small group of really great readers and writers are involved in helping me and inspiring me. And we've created some really nice pocket books like this one, and then we have the masterpiece here, and we have George Salas and David Vardaman, and David Vardaman was in that first class as well. He remembered, like I did, that Iqbal's stories were really great. So anyway, years pass. I've got nothing to do with Iqbal. Wonder about him now and then, and we're Facebook friends, but we never write anything to each other. But we tend to share a lot of the same posts. I don't know if he's as anarchic leaning as I am, but he's at least very much anti-Trump. And so we're sharing a lot of posts, and he's in my mind, and occasionally when I share things, I see his name pop up, and I say, okay, I'll send something to him. And the last thing I sent to him was my catalog or catablog of the press. We just finished the last book of the season, so there are now 6 books. And so I wrote a catalog up on my blog, and so it's called a catablog or a catalog, anything you'd like. And I shared it with a lot of people, including Iqbal. And I thought of Iqbal the other day. I don't know why. Probably because of the political stuff. And I thought, wonder why Iqbal never responds to anything I send him on SMS privately. So I wrote him. The last thing I had sent was the catalog, which was on Sunday. And then I wrote him a couple days later, and I said, Iqbal, why is it you never respond to my posts? And he wrote, they don't show up on my feed. And I said, well, what about the messenger, like right above? And he said, what about it? What do you want me to do with it? A former colleague, I suppose you could call us. We aren't really students, but a guy who always appreciated your writing, was always nice to you. A fellow writer sends you a catalog of his little publishing company, and then maybe you don't have time, you don't check these things, whatever. But when the person writes to you, the last thing you say is, "What about it? What do you want me to do with it? And I wrote, well, I was just curious. I mean, it seems with your lack of interest, curiosity about a fellow colleague. And then he wrote, okay. And then I wrote a couple more things, nothing grievous or aggressive. One thing I wrote was, is this really you, Iqbal? Is this really you? And he just ignored the rest of it. I guess, it strikes me as extremely arrogant, but also not. It doesn't anger me because there's obviously some damage in the person, and no one responds like that to other human beings, and at the same time posts things that profess care about human beings, about COVID, about children in cages and things like that, and has that kind of split personality that produces that sort of arrogance, that being above it all. And so I just, I just can't help but laugh about it. But at the same time, you can just imagine what's going on in my head. I'm trying to get work done of varying kinds. I'm mailing a lot of books that I'm selling that are in that catalog. Iqbal, if you're watching. But I keep singing, Iqbal Pittalwala, give your dog a bone. Iqbal Pittalwala, give your dog a bone. There's no second line. Iqbal Pittalwala, give your dog a bone. This man, Rick, is going home. Writers, be open, kind, and generous to all other writers. And, when somebody sends you something, try to give it the time of day, as they say. I don't like cliches, but I have to say it. Give each other the time of day. The time right now is time to sing. Iqbal Pittalwala, give your dog a bone.